In this video, I'm going to answer the question, is Credit Karma accurate? Then I'm going to provide an update on my own credit and show you how it's increased by over 100 points by paying off some debt. And then lastly, I'm going to share my experience utilizing Experian Boost. You just got to get started. Welcome to my channel. I'm Harlan D. White, where we're focused on eliminating debt and minimizing the if only regrets with money. On my channel, I'm currently documenting my journey of eliminating almost $50,000 in debt. And so each week I'll be providing updates as well as sharing insights on a variety of personal finance topics that I'm learning about on the way. Topics such as zero-based budgeting, emergency funds, how to negotiate your collections. Today we're talking about credit. So if that's of interest to you, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications bell. My inspiration for today's video is actually I was watching one of Angie's videos a month or so ago, and he was talking about his 800 credit score and made a caveat that it came from Credit Karma and how some people may try to discount it, which caused me to want to look into why that's the case. And so here we are today. What is Credit Karma? Well, Credit Karma is a free credit monitoring service where in exchange for giving you a free credit score, they're able to use your information to sell targeted advertisements to other companies. So let's start off with, where do your credit scores come from? Well, they come from your credit history, which are maintained by the 3 different credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And right off the bat, the first of 2 considerations comes to mind when looking to answer the question, is Credit Karma accurate? Because Credit Karma only uses 2 of the 3 credit bureaus. They utilize TransUnion and Equifax. The issue with this is that not all lenders report to all 3 credit bureaus. And like in my case, you may have items on one credit report that don't show up on the other credit reports. And therefore, if you were just looking at your Credit Karma, the information that you have would be incomplete. The second consideration to think about when looking to answer the question, is Credit Karma accurate, is what is your purpose for utilizing Credit Karma? Something that I never thought about is that potentially each of us could have hundreds, if not thousands, of different credit scores. According to Veronica Herrera, Director of Product Solution at Experian, there are hundreds of different scoring models used by lenders, and there are thousands of more custom scores. The 2 most popular credit scoring models are FICO and VantageScore, who both use 300 to 850 scoring ranges. However, there's a number of variations for both scoring models. Now, starting with VantageScore, it was actually developed by the 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, in 2006 to compete with FICO. The 2 most recent versions of VantageScore is VantageScore 3.0, which was developed in 2013, and that's also the version that Credit Karma uses, along with a number of other companies out there. And then there's VantageScore 4.0, which was developed in 2017, which is currently still less popular than the 3.0 version. Whereas FICO was first developed in 1989, and FICO also has a number of different versions, the 2 latest being FICO number 8 and FICO number 9. And according to credit scoring website MyFICO, FICO is used by more than 90% of the top lenders. So although through the years, VantageScore is becoming more popular, as detailed in Oliver Wyman's 2019 study, where he saw a 20% year-over-year increase from 2018 to 2019 with the use of VantageScore, it's still not the industry standard. And there's also a number of other differences between FICO and VantageScore, such as how they weight things in your credit report. For example, FICO weights your payment history at 35%, whereas VantageScore weights your payment history at 40%. They also have different scoring ranges where a 661 may be good in VantageScore, a 661 is considered fair in FICO. And even how they handle collections is going to be very different, either whether or not they discount medical debt or whether or not they look at things under $100 is really going to be dependent on which credit score that you're looking at. So to answer the question, is Credit Karma accurate? Yes, it's accurate. However, because they utilize VantageScore, they are not using the industry standard when it comes to scoring models. And also, it's going to be really heavily dependent on what is your use of Credit Karma. Because if you're using that score to base what you may qualify for, let's say an example, a mortgage loan, you probably want to make sure that you pull your FICO as well, just to make sure you're not caught off guard. However, Credit Karma can still be a very useful tool for monitoring your credit to make sure that nothing shows up on your credit that shouldn't be there, and also to track the trajectory of whether or not your credit is going up or down. Credit Karma can still be a good indication of that. And one of the things I like to do as well is to also use the Experian app and supplement the Credit Karma. That way I can see information from all three credit bureaus. All right, so next part of this video, I do want to jump into giving a credit update. If you have not seen any of my other credit updates, I will warn you right off the bat that my credit is not very good. In fact, before I started posting my YouTube videos to my Facebook, I had to give myself a heart to heart. I was like, Harlan, you are not your credit score. You are not your debt. And for the most part, it's true, right? I can't change anything I did in the past. However, I can influence the future by doing what I need to do each and every single week to move forward. All right, so let's jump into the details. So, since I started tracking my credit late March, early April, my TransUnion has increased by 112 points. My Equifax has increased by 105 points, and my Experian has increased by 58 points. The interesting thing about that is that my higher scores are for my VantageScore versus the Experian, which is a FICO score. So my TransUnion score is 637, my Equifax score is 637, and my Experian score is 569. However, as I was looking at this in preparation for this video, I did notice that my Experian still had a collections account on that credit report that had already been removed from my other two credit reports. So just last week, I placed a dispute to get that removed. And so once that's removed, I'll see whether or not the FICO score comes anywhere close to the Vantage scores. All right, and so to give you an example on how my score has been increasing over the last month and a half or so, I'm going to just focus on the TransUnion and quickly run you through the numbers. So August 13th, my TransUnion was 553, and it had increased at that point by 6 points because on my credit report I can see that my credit card number one was settled on my account. So the cool thing about Credit Karma is that it will show you notes as far as why your credit score increased. And then on August 28th, my TransUnion score increased by 39 points. And that's because credit card number one was removed from my credit report. My installment loan was settled on my credit report. My credit card number four showed a balance reduction on my credit report. And because of those factors, it increased by 39 points. And if you jump to September 20th, my score increased by another 38 points. And that was because my credit card number four had settled. And lastly, jump to September 26th, my score increased by another 3 points. And that was because I had reduced credit card number three by $500. All right, so the last topic I want to hit before giving a very quick update on where I'm at on my debt-free journey is my experience utilizing Experian Boost. If you don't know, Experian is the only one of the three credit bureaus that allows you to put non-traditional information in your credit history. And so basically the way that it works, you go onto the Experian app or the Experian website, and there's a section around the Experian Boost. You click it and it gives you an option to add an account. So a checking account or a credit card account. And once you add that account, Experian searches through that account and looks to identify either utility bills or telecom bills. And if they're able to find accounts that have at least 3 consecutive months of payments, then they will ask you whether or not you want to add that account to Experian Boost. So for me, I had two accounts that came up, and that was one of my utilities accounts and also my cell phone account. And since I recently moved, I decided not to add that utility account to my Experian Boost. However, I did add my cell phone bill to my Experian Boost. And right off the bat, my Experian credit score jumped by 21 points. And then last week, I was going back into my Experian and looking at it. And that's when I noticed that there was something still on my Experian that was not on my other two credit reports. And so I decided to go ahead and add the utility account just to see what would happen. And so I went ahead and added the utility account as well, and my score increased by another 22 points. So now I'm waiting to see what happens once the utility account drops off and whether or not my credit score will drop back down. But I definitely wanted to share this information because the Experian Boost, at least in my case, maybe it's just because I have poor credit, it actually did work. And so it was pretty simple and straightforward. And so if you're looking to increase your Experian credit score, that's one option. And lastly, real quick, I'm going to provide an update on where I'm at in my debt-free journey. I have not made any payments since my last video. So my current outstanding debt is $28,617. And the total amount that I've reduced my debt by since May of 2020 is $21,052. Until next time.